Hey everybody, Gospel Guitarist here. Thought I'd just drop a little note on my new toy. Had a birthday on April 2nd, and the love of my life went out and found a guy selling this. So I'm just going to talk about some of the things we're doing to it. It had all white plastic hardware on it, and she wanted to go black, and I was with her on that because I always like the black. I think it looks a little bit more classy with the black appointments instead of the white appointments. I also like to mix the white and the black like Stevie Ray Vaughan and white pickups and knobs, but we went all black on this and it looks nice and sharp. When I opened it up, it already had some CTS pots in it, so the guy that used to own it knew a little something about guitars. So the pots are already good. I'm going to check on the capacitor, but it seems to be okay, but I do have some orange drops I might just throw in there for good measure. Switchcraft switch. I've added some strap lock buttons because I already have the strap lock systems on my other guitars, so why spend all that money for the whole getup? Well, all you need is the buttons. So added those. Of course, locking tuners on a vintage trem system is, in my book, a must-have. So got these off of eBay for under 50 bucks, a couple bucks under 50 bucks. And they're great. They just go right in. And as if you don't know, Fender has pre-drilled 2 holes under the tuning keys, and on the tuning keys there's 2 little pegs, metal pegs. And they just sit right in that hole, and that way you don't need to have a screw back here to screw all these in. And these are just drop-in Fender replacements. You can of course go with Gato or whatever you want, but if you want to keep it Fender, you can. I added a rolling string retainer here, but it's really not needed. The locking tuners are staggered, and I don't know if I can line this up enough for you. If you can see, the tuners closest to you are shorter, and the 4th, 5th, and 6th strings are a bit higher, about a 1/4 inch higher. So by having this staggered system like that, whether it's a Fender where they do a 3 normal and then a 3 shorter height, other systems have 2 and then 2 shorter and then 2 shorter. It eliminates the tree because it gives the string a break angle downward toward the peg, where when you have a full-size peg, the string just goes straight through, and you need to keep the first 2 strings in your nut, and that's just not going to happen when you're whamming and all that. So if you put the staggered tuners on there with the pole pieces staggered height, you can eliminate this. The only reason I have this on here is because, well, it's a roller, so it's not going to really be much friction there anyway, and I've used it before. And I don't like a hole sitting in my headstock. Okay, quirky. But anyway, the other thing I upgraded went with the Graphtec Nut, which when they send it to you is oversized, so you do need to file it. And it takes a couple days to break in the nut. Also, I ordered a flat nut. And I didn't think at the time that the Fender nuts are actually, I think it's a 9.5 inch radius on the bottom of the nut, just like your fretboard. So if you get a straight nut like me, you're going to have to take some time to... I just took a Dremel and made it go a little quicker. It's very soft material, but it's very durable. So you can shape it very easily and very cleanly. Just take your time and be careful. But the tone is... The tone and the slippage up here on the nut, there's no binding whatsoever. I'm going to keep the original tremolo system. The pickups will probably be swapped out at some point, but they don't totally suck. So, but the guitar is in really good shape. The frets are in great shape. The back in the tremolo system, I ordered from StewMac some noiseless springs. They're basically just some vinyl over the springs so that when you use your trem, they don't do all that pinging. And I've upgraded to a bell brass mounting screws and a spring tongue here. Now, the one thing I have coming tomorrow is a solid brass block from fu.com for the Floyd upgrades at FU. So I have a full-sized brass plate or brass block coming. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a video on how that is done, how you can swap that out. So these are the upgrades that I would recommend on any. This is a made in Mexican Stratocaster, and it's my second one. I had one a couple of years ago, and it had the full MIDI. It was a Roland MIDI-fied Strat, and it played really nice. And so this is my second made in Mexico Strat, and the only thing I can think of doing to the neck, other than what I've already done, is maybe do a little slight rolling on the frets, so it's a bit more broken in. But that's about it. There's just very few sharp edges. It's actually a quite nice feeling guitar neck. So that's it for the video. I just wanted to go over some of the upgrades that I do and recommend that you do to a Strat that's made in Mexico. It's not a real expensive upgrade. You can probably spend about $200-300 bucks, which is about what the guitars are worth when you buy them used. So for 600 bucks, you can have one monster guitar here. So I might go with the old standby, the Marzio SDS ones. I always wanted those when I was a kid, and I never did get them in any of my Strats. So I may go the old route there. They were really popular back in the day. Of course, today you got stacked humbuckers and a whole world of stuff you can do. So that's it. That's all I wanted to do was show you my new toy and recommended upgrades. So I'm just piecing it together over the month, just making upgrades, and the more I do, the better I like it, and the better it plays, and the tone is really starting to come alive. So I hope you find it helpful, and you can go out and find all these parts online, either on Amazon or fu.com or StuMac. StuMac has better prices on the spring and the brass tongues and stuff like that. Can't remember where it was I priced the block. Oh, I think it's GFS. Guitar Fetish, I believe they also sell the blocks. They're a little bit lower priced. Not sure what the difference is between the FU block and the GFS block. Seems like I had a GFS block many years ago, and I liked them. So you can go either way that you want there. Search them out online, and that's it for me. I'm gonna go play. Take care.